Live in high definition from the CBS 4 studios. This is CBS 4 at 5:30.
A disaster near downtown El Paso. A semi-truck shoots up an embankment on Interstate 10 and comes crashing down on a utility bridge supporting gas, water, and electrical lines. You are looking live from the scene from our CBS 4 Eye in the Sky drone. CBS 4 has learned that the driver lost control after reaching for a bottle of water. The interstate could be closed for the next 24 hours, at least in both directions. We have team coverage for you tonight. Reporter Kaylee Heck showing us the traffic troubles this catastrophic wreck is causing. Gloria De Leon with everything else we've learned about the crash and the driver.
Amazingly, there are no serious injuries to report. You have to see this video from CBS 4 viewer Hugo Bustamante. He captures a miraculous exit made by the driver as he climbed out of that wreck. Good evening, everyone. I'm Patricia Mayase.
What an afternoon it's been. I'm Shelton Dotson. Let's get our team coverage started right now. CBS 4 at 5:30's Gloria De Leon live at the scene to show us what emergency crews are concentrating on right now.
Well, we're here live along I-10 West between Stanton and Mesa. Now take a look at this semi behind me. It's lodged on top of these utility lines. Now the fire department tells us a semi was driving on I-10 West here and lost control when, again, the driver was grabbing a water bottle. It went up the embankment here. It happened at about 1:30. Now that semi caught fire. Several agencies, fire, police, Texas Gas Services, Water, TxDOT, El Paso Electric are all working together. Crews are working to figure out what's running in those pipes. The worry here is that there may be a gas line. Witnesses tell CBS 4 it sounded like an explosion.
When we looked from that direction, we saw that the 18-wheeler had flipped over the beam, and that the front cabin was on fire.
The flames, it was almost instant. Like as soon as the boom happened, and we saw that the truck crashed, the flames were like almost instant.
Now we're told the driver was able to get out of the semi before anything else could happen. He was taken to a local hospital with minor injuries and has since been released. No other injuries to report and no other vehicles were involved in this crash. Again, this portion of I-10 will be closed in both directions for at least 24 hours. Reporting live from downtown El Paso, Gloria De Leon, CBS 4 at 5:30.
Traffic has been an absolute nightmare for drivers near downtown El Paso. This is actually probably the quickest we've seen them travel near Mesa in Montana in the last couple of hours. If you look up Mesa, though, about 3 stoplights up, it would normally take drivers about a minute to come down here to the intersection of Mesa and Montana. But because of the closures and the crash, it's taking drivers closer to 15 to 20 minutes instead. There is not an easy way to get around the traffic or the closures. I-10 is closed from the Spaghetti Bowl to Executive in both directions. The detours are Paisano for drivers going west and Loop 375 for drivers going east. TxDOT says avoid the area as best you can, which is a little difficult because of the traffic that is spilling out onto the side streets. If you have to come in this direction, plan for delays. And the last thing you want is to run into car trouble. Here on Mesa, we saw 4 people pushing an overheated truck. If you do hit the roads, again, bring that patience because it is going to take you longer with rush hour plus these closures to get wherever you are trying to go. Reporting live near downtown El Paso, Kaylee Heck, CBS 4 at 5:30.
And we want to go ahead and give you another look at the scene from our CBS 4 Eye in the Sky. No other TV station in El Paso can give you a view like this of the crash. Remember, all lanes on I-10 East and West remain closed from US 54 all the way to Executive. You want to find alternate routes if you need to go through this area. And as you heard our live crew say, you can expect it to be closed at least for the next 24 hours. The crash is also affecting water service in the area. El Paso Water says a water main break was caused by that damaged utility bridge. Workers have closed off the valves. Service will not be interrupted, but people who live along Montana between Prospect and Campbell may experience lower water pressure.
Shortly after the crash, CBS 4 viewers began sharing what they saw. Take a look at this amazing picture. It comes to us from Alejandro Garcia. You can see just how big the flames and the big cloud of black smoke were coming from that burning semi-truck. This next photograph was given to us by Ricardo Maraz. It's a little bit harder to see the flames, But look at what's coming down at an angle there. That is the side of the truck, the I-10 bridge, and the flatbed truck as well. Justin Lucero sent in these photos. The El Paso Police Department working to put out the flames on an extremely dangerous situation unfolding on I-10 earlier today. This video was sent in by one of our viewers as well. It shows the firefighters also working to put out those flames caused by the accident. Look at those gas tanks there. This is the Howdy's Food Mart at Yandell and Mesa, but you can see just how incredibly close that crash happened next to the gasoline pumps, and that hot flames burning next to those pumps as well. Could have been an even worse disaster. For updates on detours, a picture gallery, and all our Facebook Lives from throughout the day, there's so much more to see. You can find it all on our website, CBS4Local.com.
All right, another big news today. A jury finds an El Paso police officer not guilty in the death of his 11-month-old son. The judge choked up today while reading the verdict. CBS 4 at 5:30's Claudia Tristan is live in downtown El Paso and brings us some of the reaction in the courtroom and what is next for that officer.
Raymond Licon Jr. broke down into tears this afternoon in the courtroom right behind me, collapsing into his defense attorney's arms, and his family giving an audible sigh of relief as that not guilty verdict was read earlier this afternoon. Now, it took jurors about 4 hours to reach a decision. Licon was on trial for the death of his 11-month-old son who drowned in a bathtub June 2017. Now, Licon was reportedly distracted, having an argument on the phone with his wife and checking on his daughter downstairs. Licon, who has been on desk duty since the death last year, can now move forward with his life.
Quite frankly, his daughter's going to have a father. He's going to have a job. His family's going to have health insurance because he's going to continue his employment with the city, all of those things. His pension's going to stay in effect.
Licon's defense attorney told us that him and the family were not available for interviews. It has been an exhausting week for them sitting here throughout this trial. Now, this weekend would have been the baby's second birthday. Reporting in downtown El Paso at the county courthouse, Claudia Tristan, CBS 4 at 5:30.
All right, thank you, Claudia.
Murder victim identified. We will show you the relationship between the victim and the suspect.
And practice canceled for now. Why a team in Chaparral is asking for help to continue playing soccer.
Truck versus train, the mistake police say one driver made that caused a deadly wreck in northeast El Paso.
And as crews are dealing with the heat, that accident in downtown El Paso, they're also dealing with the heat. Just how much the mercury rose today. And while you want to find some indoor places to hang out, I'll talk more about that coming up in your full forecast.
You are looking live at Mesa and Montana. The traffic mess as people are forced to detour off of I-10 due to the catastrophic wreck involving a semi-truck earlier this afternoon. The interstate snaking through downtown El Paso remains closed. It may stay that way, we now learn, up to Saturday. Much more on this huge breaking story coming up next on CBS 4 at 5:30.
We want to show you this incredible video that was sent into our newsroom by our CBS 4 viewer, Larissa Aguirre Marin. This is the crash that shut down I-10 in both directions. Investigators say a semi-truck caught fire when it veered off of I-10 near downtown. You can see the flames. Do we have that video? Okay. Well, it's believed that the driver was able to escape, and of course we're continuing to cover this story. Meantime, several viewers, there is that video. The El Paso Fire Department says he was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And several viewers have taken to social media to document the semi-truck crash. Here's a look at some pictures that we've received via our Banjo app. Take a look at this picture captured by Arturo Salazar. You can see firefighters are working to put out the flames. You can still see some fire in the middle of your screen. You can see there's also spillage on the underpass. This picture was posted on Twitter, and you can see someone seems to be running on the bridge near the flames. The caption reads, "Heard an explosion outside, and I looked out my window to see this. Hope everyone is okay." And finally, here's this video posted by FitFam EP. You can get some perspective about the size of those flames. And if you look closely, you can see the driver again walking out as well. He's wearing a red shirt if we can see him, and then factor in just how hot it was today.
We also understand that engineers from Austin are on their way to El Paso. They will assess the structure of that support bridge, so it may have to come down. Who knows how long the interstate is going to be closed. Stay with CBS 4. We'll keep updating this story. Up next, they went from play to pause. The reason why a Borderlands soccer team has to hang up the cleats, at least for now.
And another hot day, a scorcher for the borderland. Just how much hotter it'll continue to get, I'll talk more about that coming up on CBS 4 at 5:30.
El Pasoans trying to make it back home through the rush hour traffic. Most of these cars, if not all of them, coming off of I-10 because it is closed in both directions at downtown El Paso. We will continue to keep a close eye on it and try to get you home as safe and sound as possible. CBS 4 at 5:30 continues right after the break. Tonight, a man is being held on a murder charge in connection with the death of his own father. It happened on Valor Point out near Pebble Hills High School just after 6 o'clock Wednesday morning. Homicide detectives now say that is where 33-year-old Desiderio Agadir III attacked and killed his father. Agadir is currently hospitalized. His mugshot will be available when he gets out of the hospital and is booked into the El Paso County Jail. This is the 9th murder of the year in El Paso. Of those, police tell us 4 have been domestic related. Tonight, we have confirmed that a crash involving a train and a truck Wednesday in northeast El Paso has turned deadly. The collision happened along Railroad Drive near the Kinder Morgan energy plant. Police say the driver of a crew cab pickup truck tried to snake his way through the railroad crossing arms. He did not make it and was broadsided by a Union Pacific freight train. 56-year-old Richard Neal was in the back seat of that truck. He was ejected and died at the scene. The truck driver and another passenger suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
Take a look at the high for today, 105, 11 degrees above average, a scorcher for the borderland. Overnight lows also way above average. Triple digits will continue at least for a couple of more days. We've cooled down a little bit at the airport. 101, 99 in Las Cruces. Still a very, very hot day, especially for those crews working out there in downtown El Paso to clean up that crash, and all the utility crews as well. If you have to be outdoors, especially around this time of the day, the hottest part of the day, make sure you drink plenty of water. We're going to stay under high pressure at least for the next couple of days before rain showers move back into our forecast. Overnight low 77, mostly clear. A beautiful evening for El Paso. Same for Las Cruces, and then your next 48 hours. Yeah, the triple-digit temperatures are going to stick around at least, as I said, for a couple of more days. 103 expected tomorrow, could be hotter even in Las Cruces. And then Saturday, a little bit of a cool down, but also another scorcher for the area. Shelton.
Patty, thank you. Soccer practice is the time of day that a team in Chaparral typically looks forward to, but that is not the case this week after the squad lost all of their equipment in a fire. CBS 4 at 5:30's Adriana Candelaria shows us the damage. She's live tonight here in the studio.
Coach Raimundo Vasquez trains the Chaparral Roadrunners soccer team. They practice at Dolores C. Wright Memorial Park, but he says right now their practices are on hold since they no longer have the equipment to play.
On Tuesday, we had a fire in the concession stand.
Just as the Chaparral Roadrunners arrived to soccer practice,
The kids started coming in at 6:30, and the fire truck was still here about that time.
they found the leftovers of a fire at the concession stand.
This part of the building, it's a concession stand where this is a part where we store all our equipment.
Raimundo Vasquez is one out of 4 coaches for the team.
We had about 20, 25 soccer balls. We had hurdles, exercise ladders, cones. We had our nets, as you can see right now. We didn't wear out of nets.
Today, the doors of the concession stand are still locked. Coach Vasquez says no one is being allowed in there for now.
And the inside's all burned. It has a lot of smoke damage, and the fire department had to tear down the parts of the sheetrock to make sure everything was okay up there.
He says they need some help getting back some of the equipment. His players are ages 5 through 13, and soccer practice is the highlight of the day for some of them.
A couple of parents, they do tell me that throughout the day they're nagging and say, well, what time we're going to practice. So if we stop this, if we stop what we're doing, they will kind of affect a little bit the morale.
There's still no word on what caused the fire. Coach Vasquez says that they're having a cleanup event in September, and that's going to help them raise some funds. We have his contact information on CBS 4 Local if you'd like to help with the donations. Live in the studio, Adriana Candelaria, CBS 4 at 5:30. We'll be right back.
This is the Sun City Emergency Room Sports Desk.
The local sports scene being impacted by that nasty crash in downtown El Paso. Dozens of people had to wait for the start of the Jones Brothers Youth Football Camp. This is over at the Sun Bowl. We're told registration was delayed more than an hour because a lot of people, including staff members, got stuck in traffic. I-10, of course, closed between Executive and US 54, but it didn't matter. The kids waited for Aaron Jones, and he waited for them.
Just seeing these little kids, the smiles on their faces, knowing I make their day, get a chance to hang out with them and show them I'm a normal person. I'm just like them, and I'm no different.
It's Aaron Jones, Alvin Jones, unable to be there. He had to leave this week for team meetings with the Baltimore Ravens. Meantime, UTEP coach Dana Dimmel having some fun with the media this week. He was at his first Conference USA Media Day yesterday in Frisco, Texas. Dimmel brought two of his players with him.
What was your impression of Dana Dimmel the first time you met him, gentlemen? Derek, start with you.
The first impression, I would.
Okay.
I said, me and my friends joke around and say, look like Brock Lesnar.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did hear the Brock Lesnar one.
Big
you really?
body.
Yeah, I did hear the Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So, yeah.
I mean,
but he was a cool. He came off as like truthful. You could tell he was true. You could tell he already wanted the best from the team, and he just seemed like a great guy off the jump.
He does look like Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
It's offensive lineman Darren Gatewood and defensive back Nick Needham joining Coach Dimmel. Tiger knees today. This is the first round of the British Open. Tiger off to a good start, but he even par. 5 shots back. Remember, Tiger's missed the cut in 4 of his last 5 majors. How would you like to be Sergio Garcia? Isn't a creek?
Hey, I'm familiar with that.
Right? Good job of getting out of the creek, but behind that little hill is the beach, a bunker. Sergio in trouble today. You want to see a great putt? How about Ricky Fowler looking for a birdie?
From just about St. Andrews. Yes, it is.
That'll work. He's 4 under, 1 shot back. They're all chasing Kevin Kisner. He's an American. He's got a 1-shot lead at 5 under par. Baseball, 1 game on the Major League schedule today. Cubs are home against St. Louis. Full slate of games tomorrow. But the Chihuahuas, afternoon game in Albuquerque today, and they could not get anything going this afternoon. 1 on, double play here. They were playing from behind the whole game. Albuquerque blows it open with a big 3-run blast. Final score, Albuquerque a touchdown and a safety. 16-1 Isotopes over the Chihuahuas. They get 16 runs on 19 hits. CBS 4 at 5:30 has more on that incredible crash from downtown El Paso when we come back.
One last look at the disaster developing downtown earlier today. Here in El Paso, a semi-truck losing control, going up an embankment, landing on a utility line support bridge. The miracle, you see the man in the red coming out of the fiery wreck. That is the driver. We understand he lost control when he was reaching for a bottle of water. We're following this story throughout the night. We'll see you back here tonight at 10.